All right, what's going on, guys? Daryl Porter here, your Kingdom Wealth Coach, coming to you guys with a powerful presentation tonight. Wanted to go ahead and get this presentation out there. This is actually a setup presentation for another presentation I'm going to be doing tomorrow night. I'll talk about that at the end of this presentation, but I want to talk to you guys about the road to financial freedom. All right, the road to financial freedom. Everybody is traveling down a road to financial freedom. All right. And the road that we're traveling down is the road that we've been taught to travel on from our parents, their parents, their parents. So this is something that's been passed down to us throughout the generations. And we're hoping and believing that this is the road that we need to be on to reach that financial freedom. Well, I'm here to share with you guys that this is not the road to financial freedom, and you're going to learn why inside of this presentation. So, with that being said, I want to go ahead and get right into this. We're going to talk about the financial game of life. Life is a game, guys. Everybody's dealt a hand of cards, and you have to play that hand of cards the way that they've been dealt to you. So, what have we been taught? We've been taught the 40-40-40 plan. You go to school, work for 40 years, only to retire for 40% of what you made and live life happily ever after. That's the game that we've been taught to play, right? That's the game that we've been taught to play. So, since we're talking about a game, let's look at this from a football standpoint. Okay, let's talk about the game of football. And we're going to apply this to the financial game of life. So, in the game of football, we have quarters. You have four quarters in a game of football. All right. In life, guys, we have four quarters in our life. And your life really begins at the age of 25. After you went to school for 4 years, got whatever degree you're going to get, you start your job. Um, After being working for 2 or 3 years, your life kind of starts at the age of 25. All right. So in the first quarter of your life, you're looking at from 25 to 35 years old. The second quarter of your life, you're from the age of 35 to 45. The third quarter of your life is from the age of 45 to 55. And then the fourth quarter of your life is from the age of 55 to 65. Now, again, I want you to put your thinking caps on, guys. I want you to put yourself inside this game. And where are you at in the four quarters of your life? Where are you inside the four quarters of your life? And the closer you get to the fourth quarter, you're running out of time. So, of course, retirement age, as we have known it, has been the age of 65. But I believe that age, the retirement age actually went up, I think, to 67. But we'll use 65 as our number just for this presentation. So, at the age of 65, it's time to retire. You done gave your 40 years. Now it's time for you to draw Social Security. Right? You done hit that age. The game is over. All right. You're supposed to be able to retire and live life happily ever after. All right. Well, let's take a look at this, guys, because that is actually not how it works. And there are so many people retiring every day, and they're not able to stay retired because of the fact that they wasn't able to save enough to be able to stay retired. So, in the game of football, once you hit the fourth quarter and the game is tied, then they have what they call the overtime. All right, OT. OT stands for overtime. Well, in the financial game of life, guys, OT stands for out of time. Once you hit the fourth quarter of your life and you hit that age to where you can no longer work, and listen, this is something that everybody has to face. Either you can't work because you're too old, or you can't work because of some type of health issues, or you're just tired of working. All right. The moral or the point to this is there's gonna come a time in your life to where you can't work anymore. It's over. You're out of time. That's it. It's done. Finito. So you're 65. So let's talk about that. You done gave 40 years of your life to this system. You've done everything you've been taught to do. You've done it all. So let's take a look at this. So let's talk about income. Let's talk about what income you've earned over your 40-year working career. So everybody, if you went to school, college, and went to college for 4 years, you should have made on the average at least $25,000 a year. We're gonna use 25,000 as a low number. You went to college for 4 years, you probably making well over that. But we're gonna use $25,000 as our number for this presentation. So you've made $25,000 every year for 40 years. You've made over $1 million. Keep that in the back of your mind, guys. You've made over $1 million. So let's talk about this. So a work week consists of what? 40 hours a week, right? So you work for 40 hours a week, and there's 52 weeks in a year. We're going to give you a 2-week vacation, even though most people can't even afford to take a vacation for 2 weeks. But we're going to give you a 2-week vacation. So we're going to say you work for 50 weeks in a year. So you work 40 hours a week times your 50 weeks in a year. That means you've given up 2,000 hours a year of your life on somebody's job. 2,000 hours a year. So now we got to look at how many years you've been working. Because again, this presentation is for right now. How long have you been working? So if you've been working for 5 years, that means you've given up 10,000 hours already. All right. If you've been working for 10 years, you've given up 20,000 hours of your life. If you've been working for 15 years, you've given up 30,000 hours. And if you've been working for 20 years, you've given up 40,000 hours of your life to a job. Now, here's the catch, and here's the analogy, guys. Everybody should be able to save at least $1 for every hour that they've worked. All I want you to do is to be able to save $1 for every hour that you have worked. So if you've been working for 5 years, guys, that means you should be able to go to your bank account right now and pull out $10,000. If you've been working for 10 years, you should be able to go to your bank account right now and pull out $20,000. 15 years, 30,000. And if you've been working for 20 years already, you should be able to go on your 20th year anniversary. You should be able to go to your bank account and pull out $40,000. That's just $1 saved for every hour that you worked. And I'm sure a lot of you that are listening to me right now are probably saying to yourself, wow, I literally cannot do that. I literally cannot do that. It's not your fault, guys. This is what we've been taught to do. We've been taught to try to save and build wealth in a monetary system that was not designed for you to build wealth that way. We're not supposed to save these dollars, guys. Dollars were never designed to be saved. If you pull $1 out your wallet right now, it's going to tell you that this is a Federal Reserve note, all right, created by the Federal Reserve. It has no backing. It's lost all of its backing in 1971 when President Nixon took us off the gold standard. Your dollar now became a fiat currency. The word fiat is just a decree by the government that that dollar has some type of power. And it literally tells you on the dollar bill, guys, what kind of power this dollar bill has. This note is good to pay down private and public debt. It tells you what the decree is right on the dollar. Never designed for it to be saved. Never. Real money that was designed to be saved was gold and silver. That's the way God intended for it to be from the very beginning. That's why he placed it in the earth. That's why Abraham was rich in cattle, gold, and silver. The word rich was associated with cattle, gold, and silver from the very beginning. The word silver itself is the Hebrew word kesef, and that word means money. See, we've been taught that these things we work hard for every day is money. It's been programmed into our minds that this is called money. Money has to maintain a store of value. The dollar, since it came off the gold standard, does not maintain a store of value, so therefore it cannot be considered to be money. But this is what we've been taught, guys, and it just does not work. So I wanted to do this presentation to set you guys up for a presentation that I'm doing tomorrow night that's going to teach you guys how to prepare for retirement and get on the right road to financial freedom. So tomorrow you're going to learn a new road to financial freedom. You're going to learn a new road to financial freedom tomorrow night. So I'm setting you up. So if you listen to the presentation and you were honest with yourself, you notice you're losing the game right now. You're literally losing the game right now. And you need to be on this presentation tomorrow night. So if one of my partners share this with you, you want to make sure you get back with them and tell them, hey man, look, I need that link to that presentation tomorrow night because I'm tired of losing this game, and it's time for me and my family to start winning. They will get you what you need. Register for that webinar, guys, and I promise you, at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, your life is going to be changed if you decide to do something with the information that's going to be shared. All right, guys, listen, I want to take some time out to thank a good friend of mine, Mr. Terrence Hill, for sharing this presentation with me. This was a life changer for me. This presentation was a life changer for me. So I wanted to make sure that I share what was given to me with you guys, so it can be a life changer for you. Now that I have the right plan on how to get us out of this thing, I thought it was very important for me to share this presentation with you tonight. All right. So with that being said, guys, again, get back with the person that shared this presentation with you. Tell them you want the link to this webinar tomorrow night. I got to change my life. I got to change my family's life. Give me this link so I can register for this presentation. All right. And we will see you guys tomorrow night on the presentation at 7 o'clock. All right. God bless. Take care. Until my next presentation, guys, we'll see you guys over the top.